In this episode, I lift wheels, hit wheels, sand wheels, scrub a grille, scrub some lights, and paint this, paint that, and paint them. Alright, next item on the agenda is wheels. Now wheels can really change the look of a car, and that one needs it. I picked up some CLK AMG wheels, which are period correct. Tyres are already removed, but they do need refurbishment. A lot of damage on the edges. This isn't even one of the worst ones. New center caps, clean up the wheel lips, remove old weights, and then they'll need another coat of paint. Let's get started. Okay, first step is to remove the old rubber from the inner lips. Oh, here. Starting with the least aggressive method first, which is some wax and grease remover and buff with a rag. We'll get started with applying the wax and grease and see how we go. The inner barrels isn't too much of an issue. I don't really mind about that. It's mainly the mating surface where the bead meets the lip of the wheel. Well, I think that'll work, but slowly. It's going to be a fair bit of elbow grease, I think. It's not too bad, actually. Okay, all of the wheel lips are clean and all the wheel weights have been removed. The next step is to try and remove the curb rash. This wheel being the worst of the four. Apparently, the way you do that is by hand sanding. I've never done it before. It doesn't seem like it'll work, but we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to start with 120 grit, wet and dry. And if that doesn't work, you can always move to a flat disc to get the action happening quicker. I guess we'll see how this goes. That is actually working, surprisingly. The really rough areas are going to take a long time, but even the moderately damaged areas are getting knocked down smooth fairly quickly. Keeping in mind I'm going to have to sand it down evenly, so if I have to take a lot here, I'll need to take a lot off all the way around so as not to throw the overall balance of the wheel out. This wheel being so rough, I think I am going to have to go to the flat disc to knock this down. The other wheels should be alright to hand sand. Now I know it seems like I have taken a lot of material off that wheel. You may think it's weakened, but you've got to remember that that curb rash was already material taken away from the wheel. It's already gone. This has just smoothed it out and rebalanced the wheel. There's still plenty of metal left to support the bead of the tyre, and it still has all its integral strength. It's still quite messy, but it's smooth now. It's not the final sand, still got a bit more to do, but that is 100 times better. So
needs more clear coat. But otherwise it's pretty much done.
Okay, I'm going to wet sand these, but first I just wanted to get sand it dry to show what needs to come off. That's bad. Let's first pass with 600 grit on the driver's side, and now I'm going to move on to 600 grit on passenger side. So the plastic is sun damaged, so I want to try and scrub that, give it another coat of paint, save myself some hassle, remove the chrome trim, loads of clips holding it onto the grill, so painstakingly pry them all off with a flathead screwdriver without breaking anything, and then get to cleaning. Well, after a fair bit of prying and swearing, I got the two pieces separated, and I only broke one of the clips. Amazing. The plastic piece will need some cleaning up, a bit of scrubbing to remove old oxidized plastic, get it prepped for paint. The metal just gets it polished with a bit of metal polish. Duh. When the paint's dry on that, refit them together, put it back on the car. Because the grill's plastic, just to start with, I'm going to put on this adhesion promoter to help the colour bond. Let that coat dry. Put on one more, and then add colour. Well, here goes nothing. So after sanding these back to a smooth finish, last step is to polish them out, hopefully make them perfectly clear again. And go again. Well, look, I'm pretty happy with that. That's fairly clear. Well, I think it's fair to say from what we started with, that is a massive improvement. Pretty happy with that. All right, I think it's finally time I did something about the wheels. There's not really anything wrong with them, except for the fact that they're 15-inch, and I don't like the design that much. The tyres on the rear are shot anyway, so it's time to put the refurbished wheels with new tyres on. While I'm at it, I will be swapping out the wheel bolts for some wheel studs. It's going to make life a lot easier in future, taking wheels on and off, because there'll be something for it to sit on instead of trying to hold a wheel, balance a bolt in, get it off. It's a pain. Wheel bolts are annoying. So, time to get stuck in. Alright, let's get this wheel off. First things first, I've already loosened the bolts, so I just need to spin them off. Alright, here we go. Oh dear. Just spotted something. Okay, now that I've got the wheel off, you can see that control arm bushing is badly split. That's junk. Guess I'm going back online to order more parts. Wonderful. Well, it's not a problem to worry about for today. We'll keep going on with this for now. Try this way. Oopsie. I think I'm going to go around the rest of the car, put all the studs and wheels on, and then show you what it looks like once I'm done. Well, that's it. Job done, wheels fitted. I'm happy. The unfortunate part, finding out those splits in the bushings or the arms, means I'm going to have to redo the front end. Means I probably need to do the rear, but it's better to find out now than later down the track. Keep in mind, this isn't really a build, it's more of a get it back on the road, but Adding wheels is something fairly cheap and simple if you find some second-hand ones, and can totally change the look of the car, as you can see. Well worth it. I needed the tyres anyway, so it was a good deal for me. There was going to be one thing left, the paint, but now it'll be suspension and maybe brakes and then paint. We're getting there. It's not happening fast, but we're getting there.